Okay, so let me see if I can share. You can see the,
Yes.
okay. So this is my project. This is like the schema, the structure. So I start with my cultural map. That my target audience is the college student. Understand the generation of the college student right now is the generation C, or how some authors call them iGen, and I explain why. So, but the target audience was impacted for this pandemic. So how was the culture pre-COVID and post-COVID? And also check how was this impact in different spheres of their students. With this, I go to the assessment tool that is understand my context, and I do some examples in the Bible, how you can use the context for bring the gospel to the people. I have two examples. Actually, I have a tool that is the code for relevance and a smart plan for it. This is the project.
Great.
Oh, let me how escape. I come back. So I will stop sharing because don't let me back to the main page. But I will do it again. Okay. So just you remember I showed this video last time. Probably I don't put all the video, but this is my cultural map in different aspect. This was the result working with car, about talking about my language, my family, the food in my environment, the entertainment, the values, the belief, and also different things. In this case, I add my generation, and something was very interesting is I can define my generation because I don't identify with generation X, but also I don't identify like millennial. So looking articles and reading, I find that my generation is something called exennial. That is a mix between generation X and millennials. And it's a short generation that is from 1976 to 1983. But reading the characteristics of this generation, I can identify myself in this categories. So in this video, I explain all my context. Don't worry, I don't show all the video again. So just one stop here because I add this, the talking about the generation. So
Toyo, are we supposed to be seeing the video? Because we're not seeing the video.
you're not seeing the video?
No.
No, we just listen to the music, the back, but we don't see anything.
Oh, okay. I am seeing the video. Okay. Technology.
No kidding.
Well, you can see because I was in this part in the video explain what is the exennial. Well, I can add put the organigram in the carpet, but also I will put the videos that you can see the videos with the, so, well, this, you can see this infographic.
Very, very little.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's,
Yeah, like images.
we see
Huh.
everything, but it's very small.
Okay.
Can you zoom in
Interesting.
or no?
I have the entire screen with the info.
So I guess it's sharing your screen, not it's sharing the whole screen, not the zoom. That's what
Okay.
it does.
Okay, so I will show you guys knowing the same organigram, but I will show you in different parts. Sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it.
Okay, so yeah, you can see the infographic right now.
Um,
No.
no, there's something wrong on your screen.
Wow.
We see the sharing window where you select all the things.
Okay. So for that reason, I don't know Generation C because they are genius in technology. I'm not.
This is an
Now you can see the
illustration. Oh,
infographic.
yes, now
Yes,
we
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, well,
Uh,
next to my video, explain my cultural map that I will add the video in the carpet for the project in the drive. I add this infographic that is talking about my generation, the Xennial. So we were the first, we had the mobile phone. We discovered the first social networks. And the info that I received, we are optimistic and social. Tech savvy, that is not true because that was a good example. Probably I need to change the savvy word for another word. And we opened the first emails. And this generation born between 1977 and 1983. So I don't hear this category of the generation before,
I
but
haven't
was very, very interesting because I remember talking and when I think was David sharing about different generation, and he's like, I don't fit in anyone. But when I was reading this, was like, that makes sense. I born in this transition. So the next, I don't know how to continue. Okay. Well, the next in the presentation, in the structure was a video. You can see the video now.
Yes.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
2 minutes, my target audience. So I hope you can hear.
Yes.
Wow.
So this was the video explaining my target audience, but also I add like this article or writing talking about the impact that the COVID-19 have in college students. I searched from different articles from the government health department in Mexico, and was very interesting see how the one of the biggest problem after COVID is the mental health, and a lot of students, they have anxiety symptoms, especially women, was according to the studies. And actually this generation is described, or one of the characteristics is lonely and depression. But now with the COVID impact, this number growed a lot. Also, the consumption of the drugs also is increased in numbers. So I write this article. I put the references. Sorry for I don't translate this.
Mhm.
It was very interesting to see how is the impact in the generation that is right now in the college. So that also the next part in the is using, I am doing in different order because my original plan don't work. So this was my smart plan. I think this project was very good to me to understand my culture, but also understand the culture with the people that I am working on. My ministry is focused on. So my smart plan, I want to, each student leaders need to know the cultural map. And right now we are studying a book that is called The Emotional Healthy Leader. And the first part of this book, there are some tools that help discover how was your background, how things in your past that help you understand different things in your values, in the way you're acting. So I would like to add one of these tools. It's called the genogram. I don't know if the right word, genogram. Genogram. That is a tool that helps you to understand for your family background some different values that affect your life today. So I would like to add to this tool for this smart plan. Actually, I find another tool that is called the code for relevant. I think it's a great tool for understand the leaders, how was the culture, or how is the environment in the college. So that is the first step. And the second start for the next semester, I think is a key time, because if you do this, the coding your college or your area is very important for start the minister there. And this tool helps you like watch what the people do, what time they go to lunch, where the people meet for lunch or for play sports or for different things. I can show you the tool in just a moment, but is I think that if we can, if the leader of any ministry can make their map, the cultural map, and have applied the coding the campus for the start of the next semester, I think is a good measurable step. The student leader list is short. So therefore, it's possible to meet with each of them to explain the tools that help them elaborate the cultural map and the code campus. So my part in this smart plan is to meet with the leaders of each city with a movement of crew and explain how they can use these tools, the cultural map and the coding for relevant. Relevant, understand my culture, what I do and how I do relates in the importance for to be able to carry gospel in any way that becomes relevant for the people who have a spiritual conversation. Like I say before, for me doing this cultural map was very helpful in different ways. Like for example, the kind of wood that we are using in my house. And sometimes it's something new. I remember when I was in Querétaro, more in contact with the college students, and when they come to the house, sometimes we prepare American food for them. And that was something new for them, and they want to excited to try new things. So that was a good example on using the culture. And time bound, well, from April to July, I can meet with the leaders to explain the tool. And beginning of the August, when is the semester start, each leader have the cultural map and a plan for the code their campus. So this is part of my assessment tool, the smart plan. Hi, Carl.
Okay.
And also, if you remember, sorry, I am adding to my organigram of the project some examples in the Bible. So I choose two passages of the Bible, focus on Paul. One of the passages is Acts 17. You can see when I do zoom. Okay, so here is all the passages, but it's when Paul go to Athens and he used the gods of the idols around him, and one in particular, unknown god, he used that for bring the gospel to the Athenians people, and he captured the attention for the people there. When he talked about resurrection, he lost some people, but another part of the people was interesting, and we see a result. So for me, it's one example of Paul using the coding, the culture for bring the gospel to them. So I think it's a good example of that. Another kind of example using Paul, the context is in 1 Corinthians 19:23. And we can think in Paul was like a chameleon, but no, he wasn't a chameleon. He changing his color to adapt in different environment. His messages in all contexts was the same, but the way he communicated the message was different according the understanding of the audience. So for me, I relationate this a lot. Like I can go to the campus with my generation style, but if I am talking to a different generation with different ways to understand, so I need to adapt. Don't change the message, but adapt the message for the audience. So for me, this was the example, but also I made some question. Why we are doing this? Because what is the possible application? What is the goals of doing this, and the desired outcome? What I expect with this example? So this is the part of the tool. And okay, and this is the another tool what I told you before. This is the code for relevance. This was made by Terry Morgan. I know her. And when I was reading this, this tool is perfect for the student leader. They can apply because explain what is the coding, the goals of the coding, how you have info in every aspect, and where the people live, where people work, study, where they interact, social spaces, how was the internet affect their interaction. So I think this tool helped a lot for this final project. Okay, so this is the structure. I'm back to for the first.
So real quick, then the tool you just showed us.
Yep.
That's something you're going to go through with the SLM leaders in the different
Sorry,
cities.
again?
Are you going to go through that sheet with them, or they're going to use that sheet to decode their campuses, or
Yeah,
are you going to train them on that? And if so, when are you going to do that, or how are you going to do that?
yeah. I made this in application where is when you get the clip, you see I can see in my screen, but when I was presenting my screen, don't work. Looks like a small images. So for that reason, I have to do this apart. But this is the structure of my project, starting with my cultural map, the target audience. I make a video explain the target audience, the generation of my target audience, and also use the impact for the COVID, how was pre-COVID, post-COVID, and the result of this is an assessment tool, understand my context, the examples in the Bible, the tool, the coding for relevance, and the smart plan. In the smart plan is the timelines the people that I thinking for teach how they make their own cultural map and using the coding for the next semester or the next new students comes to the university. So in general, this is my project. I'm sorry that don't look like I was thinking in my mind, but
I think it's amazing. I think this is going to be so useful. It seems like you ought to do a training for this over all of crew that work with college students. Like I can just see how this is helpful with my granddaughter that's in college right now. It just explains her in so many ways that are puzzling, but it really is. I can really see this as useful.
thank you.
So how long are each of those videos?
Sorry,
How
I don't know
long are
why
each of those videos?
I heard you, but very far away. I don't know why.
Oh,
It's
I
just
don't know
me
why that
or
is. How do you know how long are
Maybe
each of those
you.
videos?
something is happening. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe it's your sound because I can hear
Alright.
Carl very well.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry for that, guys.
No worries.
Let me. Okay, I can hear you far away, but I
Can
can
you hear
hear
me
you.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Is that better?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I was asking how long are each of the videos?
The first video is 5 minutes. The second video is almost 3 minutes. And this is the video that I showed the last time, explain my culture. The only add that I made to this video is my generation. So it's something that I find, I was explaining before you came, that I don't identify myself in like generation X or millennial, but I find this concept, the exennial, and it's from 1977 to 1983. and I can fit in this generation. I can reading the articles about this generation was like, oh well, I can see myself in this generation. So this was the way that I was doing. Supposedly, when you click here, you can see the in my screens work. If I do this, I can see the video, and I back escape, and I can see the infograph, and this go to the next. That is my audience target, the explanation of the generation C, and also an infographic. I don't do this, but I find this and I see that explain perfectly the generation C. I wrote this article about the impact for COVID, and this bring me to the assessment tool with the examples in the Bible, the SMART plan, and the tools that I can use for the SMART plan. So
Wow, you covered all aspects of this project in an amazing way with your visuals. I think technology, you like her Gen Z on technology, if you ask me.
after this example,
But for sure, you're better than us.
remind me that I am from
artist to boot. Hey, you said something about a genogram. You said two tools, the decode for relevance, which you covered, but what the genogram, what is that?
It's a tool that in this book I read last year is called The Healthy Emotional Leader from Peter Escacero. He talked in the first part of the book, looking to inside the interior part. And he talked about this tool that is a lot of things in your background family when we grew up, and think that after we can see that ideas or that ways of thinking affecting my life right now, affecting positively or negative ways. So this is a tool for make an introspection in your past, and I think is good. I don't add it. I just have the reference because this take time, and I think I just have the reference just in case if somebody wants to go deeper in the cultural map.
Is
How does that in your mind, how does that relate to, or how is that different than the life map?
I think the life map is, well, actually could be, is, I think it's a good question. I don't think in the life map, but that also can be another tool that I can if somebody, because the life map is seen to the past.
Right. I
think
was more talking about the genogram. As you described the genogram, it sounded like to me the life map.
Yeah,
But
I think
I may not be understanding it, so I was wondering if there's a difference.
no, probably you're right. I understand this. The life map is more focused on your life events that make the person that you are. I think genogram is go further, probably to your parents or something that values in your family.
Okay.
That you probably you say, I when I grew up, I don't want to do this, but when you are grown up, you are doing the same things. So I think
what would, can you spell his last name? The author?
Peter Escacero. Probably I can write in the chat.
Oh, good.
He's the author of those books, the emotionally healthy spirituality and the emotionally healthy leader.
SCCC. Oh, good.
And collaborate with his wife with woman emotionally healthy or something like that, because I am reading that.
You have all kind of emotional
Emotionally
things. Well,
healthy teen, emotionally healthy
Yeah.
woman, all
Hey,
that.
I should probably know him, but I don't. So thank you. Mhm.
yeah, so, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was my project. The
And then you said
concept.
you're going to roll that out really soon, right? All the way through June.
Yeah, I would like to have we have few staff leaders or leaders, so I think it's possible to talk with them. And the goal is in July, April to July is a good time lapse for doing this. If we can apply, especially the decoding for part for the next semester, and I think is the new freshman,
Yeah.
or I don't know. I think that can be very good for the leaders to apply this tool and make a plan for reach the new students.
David, as you hear what Toyo's doing, since you're over the whole thing, what are your thoughts?
I think it's really good. I think it's it's very it's very helpful and it's very key because it'll help the people actually take initiative. And like we hear, hey, it's hard to connect with the students, or we need to do something because the students aren't responding how we want. But we just have the questions and we're not necessarily doing something that will give us light as to, well, how can we solve that issue? So I think that would be really important and really key.
Do you see a crossover or how it could be used with other MCCs, other mission critical components?
Yeah, definitely, because I mean it's decoding. So I mean everybody we need to do if we want to be more effective, we can decode our target audience. So I think that we can use it in any mission, strategy or ministry or target audience.
This stuff is so good. I mean, even Vanya's music part could be a little segment into this, it seems like to me. And it's very relevant for American students too. I mean, it seems like to me they're totally the same. I'm sure there are some differences, but very relevant. Is there a way that Toyo could share this on a broad scale?
Yeah, Toyo, I agree with Nita. Could you and Vanya work together? I mean, I don't know what your schedules are like, but where you could actually you'd create, I mean, it's obviously going to be in Spanish and we can get the subtitles, but you'd create a series of training videos so that even if you're going to do face-to-face training, but the training videos would be available 24/7 to whoever, whether it's in the business side or the church side or the campus side, it doesn't really matter. Or for us in the US, we can tap into that and you just walk through each of those components and help people understand the whole process. And uh, again, what you all have done is really, really good, solid work. And to then allow people to benefit from that would be really nice.
And I love the way you pulled those two passages into this also, because they totally speak to this. Yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah, I think we can talk.
I'm very curious, Toyo, how after COVID, if we go and do some like the coding, how students react in a different ways that we can see, like before and after. Because it's very interesting that things have changed a lot after COVID. And just thinking about if we are connected to them in a way that we could share the gospel effectively, you know, because they are in a depression and loneliness and anxiety time.
Yeah.
Listening all the time music, okay? They want to be lonely, listen to music, or nobody wants to talk. But would be not the same like 3 years ago. And the way they connected, the way they talk, they have this like communication style or express their emotions. And now after COVID, if we really are like supplying their needs or listen to them, or the way that we are like sharing or having like spiritual conversations are enough, you know, to just to connect with their hearts. So just thinking about that, that would be good if we have the experience, because we have done in the past the coding, when especially when we are in a new campus, but things are different, and maybe we're not seeing just this like, you know, like new ways or styles that they are like going through. So it will be very interesting, like a test, you know, or like not a police, but the detective, you know, like a detective.
Yeah. But it was interesting because I think one of the main needs of this generation that is right now in the college is they feel alone, disconnected. Besides, they have a lot of connection, but also they feel anxiety. So I think we can talk this for cap the attention of them with these needs that they have. I was when I was thinking in all the projects, and I don't want to put a lot of things in the project. I was thinking in the pyramid of the needs, the Maxwell.
Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah,
Maslow. Yeah.
Maslow. Yeah, but there is something very special, because in every need, the gospel have one answer for every need. So this pyramid explain like the needs besides the generation. So I think we can use that for bring the gospel to the students. The way they work, probably for a lot of us, we understand the work in a place, in a desk, and but right now the students or the people in the generation see they think in freelance, like a different structure to work. So I think we need to put the eyes on that, because in the next 5 or 10 years, this will be something key for reach the people.
You know, I have taught Maslow forever, and I've never even ever thought about that there's a scriptural answer for each one of those needs. Have you thought of that, Carl?
No.
I mean, that that could go places.
Well, it's too bad that this learning experience was pretty irrelevant to you all.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Carlos and Ted see this.
Yeah, and the good thing is you guys recorded it because I wasn't here, and so I'm super thankful, because if you could put that in our drive, I'm going to end up putting it on our YouTube thing so other people can benefit. I'd only wish that we had gotten both Vanya and for David, we got your things on video, but I'm super thankful that we got this one on video.
And we should stop recording.